Members, machine is open to vote for attendance. We have a quorum. Come on, Charlene.
Yeah, get over there and get quorum.
Item number 3, approval of the minutes from the January 1st, 2019 regular meeting. I got a motion by Chris Kershaw to approve, seconded by Charlene Garden. Is there any questions to the minutes? Any questions? Seeing none, the machine is open to vote for approval. Motion passes. Consider any amendments to the agenda, and I don't believe we have any. Anyone? Seeing none, we'll move on to item number 6, the fire chief's report. Mr. Kenny Hunt.
Thank you, Commissioners. So you have fire chief's report in front of you. Just some updated information. The progress on the new aerial is being painted at this time to meet our requirements for the paint scheme, and it is still on schedule to be delivered June 15th. So that's happening just about what we had planned. We just got through with training, extrication training. That's, rescuing people out of vehicles, and active shooter training. We had a big active shooter training with the Sheriff's Department, and we're in the middle of driver training this month. This is our annual, April is our get out there and drive the fire trucks, volunteers and paid people, so that's what's going on. Our recruit class is completed with 2 graduates. They both were very successful, and it kind of tested our ability to hold a recruit class. The expense that's incurred by going to LSU or to some of these other departments to get it is very high. So we were able to save quite a bit of money by training them on the job, and they're in their EMT part of their class now. Our Air Med Night Landing Zone class is coming up, so that's next month. So we're trying to bring up, a lot of departments don't use Air Med because we use the ballparks to land Air Med. But we still do some training with that, and we want to make sure that the departments that need it, the rural departments, they have everything they need. It's some lighting and some cones and that kind of stuff, so we'll make sure they have that. But we still training. It's a big training that we all, the helicopter comes in and we learn all about it. So it's a pretty good training that's going to happen next month. We're wrapping up our EMT class. There's been some bumps and bruises on that, but we're finally getting there, and we have outlook of trying to wrap that up by the end of this month, first of next month, to get everybody certified. We are now working with our crews to start training Class A fires at the department. We have built some props for that, where we can burn some stuff in the props and actually train our people here. We don't have to send them off, so that's a good savings of money. Plus, we can use it whenever we want. That's a really good thing. Staffing right now, we're at full strength, except for the Addis guy that we hired. He was coming in from close to Thibodeau, Houma area, and his fiance wasn't liking his drive time. He was supposed to have him a place here, and that thing didn't work out, so we'll be looking to hire somebody else. Part-time, we finally got a really good spread of part-time workers across the parish. We've been missing 1 or 2 here and there, and we finally got we hired another 3 for the parish, so that's really good. We had a truck in Bruley that was in Addis that was involved in a fatality crash, and the insurance didn't want to total it, so we're in the middle of repairing that, and it'll be back here in the next 2 weeks, so it'll be back in service. We're getting ready to do ratings for the South End, which is now Bruley and Addis together as South District, and we'll be doing Lobdell's ratings. So we've sent all the packet in for that, and we're waiting to schedule those. LSFA News, Louisiana State Firemen's Association, Tim Crockett is our 6th district rep. He is our district chief in Lobdell, and he's doing an excellent job. He's brought a lot of stuff to the table that really was helpful for the rest of the district members. So I want to commend him for the job he's doing on the state level. He's been in legislation meetings already this week, trying to get some firefighter legislation going, and that says a lot for our parish to keep that thing going from where we started with it. We did mosquito training. We're working on that for the rest of the parish. George Bragg has done a fantastic job with that for the volunteers. We're one of the sets of eyes that he likes, because when we come up on wrecks and stuff like that, and we see these problems, we can report it to him and they'll get right on it. It's been a really good meshing of two departments, and we're glad to help, and our firefighters are very excited about learning about mosquitoes. You think it's kind of something you wouldn't really learn a lot about, but he'll give you a 30-minute discussion about it, and he'll make you aware of a lot of problems and how to deal with it. So we're glad to be a part of that. Tonight, we have some Lifesaver Awards. A couple of weeks ago, we had a complete cardiac arrest right here on Burbage Street. Our guys got there fast, did the CPR and shocked him, and we got him back. And we don't get those success stories too often. You know, most of the time when we're dealing with that, the outcome isn't real good. This guy was a younger guy, and he ended up having another episode on the way to the hospital, and they shocked him again, and he's up and doing good now. So I'd like to go ahead and do what we always do is, when we have that, is Lifesaver Awards. Mr. Bertolot, if you could help me. Just come over here, I'm gonna get you to give it to him. I don't know who's here, but we'll see what happens. Firefighter Jeremy Aguilard, who is a volunteer here in Port Allen, and he's been helping us throughout the parish. Jeremy's one of the old guys that's been around, been there, done that, and he's really good. I don't think he's here. All right. Firefighter operator Austin Abear. I know he's having some, he had a meeting to go to tonight, but he was gonna try to make it. He's one of our on-duty firefighters on B shift. Captain Jason Henderson, he's our A shift captain, and he was on duty. Deanna got it. And then you got Matt Walker and Alexander Paul, who are also on that J shift. Those guys were there also to help get this guy going. And I just want to tell y'all, it's good to see everybody here, because now you get to see what our firefighters do. Jay's the captain of that shift, and he's extremely attention to detail. And his guys did a fantastic job, just like any other shift would do. But tonight, it's about those guys taking care of business, knowing what you got in this parish. We're here to take care of y'all. We train on that, and that's just one of the things we do. So I'd like to give them all a big round of applause. And last thing is calls for the first quarter. Fires only 20, other response at 569. And for the year, we had 589 calls, which is substantially lower than what we typically have. We're usually way over 600. Very seldom do we get into 500, so, you know, hopefully people are a lot less wrecks and that kind of stuff, and our fires are down, so that's a good thing. Usually the first year is pretty busy too. We also would like everybody to keep in their prayers. Firefighter James Hartley, everybody knows him as Bean. His daddy's battling cancer and multiple myeloma. We had to give him some vacation time and some special time off to help deal with his daddy. And, you know, we wish him the best for him, and hopefully, you know, this battle can end up good. It's just a tough thing on him and his family. We also had a death from one of our firefighters, Charles DiGiovanna. His grandfather died Monday, and we also have one of our other on-duty firefighters, David Trish. His grandfather's not expected to make it through tonight. So we're dealing with a lot of craziness right now, but if you could just keep them all in your prayers. They're watching over you all the time, and I'd like for us to be able to watch over them. Thank you.
Chief, I've got a question. Have we called for the fire chief's test, or do we have a chief's test presently in order?
So the Civil Service Board meeting is Monday night, and that's when they will call for the fire chief's test.
All right, and do we have an active firefighters list?
Yes, we do.
We do?
But we will be calling for a firefighters test because I think the active list has pretty much been burned up. I think most of those guys have gotten jobs, so we're going to call for a firefighters test too.
Oh, you're going to do that Monday night also?
Yeah, we're doing it Monday. We're doing a firefighters test. Call for. It's what we're calling for Monday night.
Both of them you gonna call for?
The chiefs, we haven't started that yet. Yeah, so we gotta go through that process.
Okay. All right. Any questions to the fire chief? Mr. Kershaw?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Kenny?
Yes, sir.
I see you said about the aerial unit. Brewley High School, the new one being built, is 2 stories. Is that going to affect the rating / aerial truck?
No, we actually have an aerial on the South District now. You know, that's the Addis aerial that we've been having. This will actually help us because we do not have, in a rating type situation, which I'm not really a whole big deal about that, but the aerial that we have now in Port Allen will now become a reserve aerial, and that will take up the spot where we don't have a reserve aerial for those 2 aerials. We don't get full credit if we don't have a reserve aerial. So once this new one comes in June, then we'll go ahead and move that to reserve, and that'll definitely help with that. But no, that school doesn't have any, we're already in place for that.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions to the chief? Any other questions? Thank you, Kenny. All right, we are under public comments. Is there anyone from the public want to be heard at this time? On the fire department? Anyone from the public? Seeing none, I'm gonna ask for a motion to adjourn, and we will come back in 5 minutes to start the parish council meeting.
Kenny.